create a narrative out of nothing. And then I'll also respond to the people saying, I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA, physical touch. I find it really overstimulating. And so it's something I actually work through with my husband because that's his love language. And I feel like for him, he tries to do physical touch to regulate his emotions, and I find it really dysregulating. So it's something we kind of work through in high stress situations because I get overstimulated when a lot of things are happening, and like my mother-in-law is there, my mom is there, and Akash will tend to kiss me when there's a lot of people around, and sometimes I'm overstimulated, so I'm just like, oh, so yeah, if you want to know like my whole fucking psychosis or whatever, then I can give it to you. But it's just annoying that you guys create a fucking narrative out of something that's sweet for no reason whatsoever, because you're miserable in your own lives is my only reason that I could reasonably assume. So yeah.
Look good, Mr. Armstrong. Armstrong. You kill me, boy, so lights out.
On Saturday when I saw her, I said, Jerry, do you know? And she said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
No, I don't want those gifts.
I know. Why not?
I don't care about, I like tangible goods.
None.
I don't care about,
Akash Singh's wife admits that she doesn't want him touching her. And then she did some weird thing where she tried blaming him, kinda, and saying it's his fault and she doesn't like PDA. I would just assume that, he's Indian and some Indian people tend to smell weird. But she's Indian too, so she should be used to it. But, the way Akash is getting cucked all over the internet, on all sides, by the way. I haven't seen one person defending this guy because his wife just keeps making it worse and worse and worse for him. And she won't shut up. She keeps making videos. She's acting completely oblivious to it, doubling and tripling down, and somehow thinks she's in the right. But ultimately, this is all of Akash's fault. He knew who this person was before he hooked up with her and married her. But, she doesn't want to get touched by Akash. But, she wants to go pop it for some white boys at a frat party. Or her best friend's husband, which, my God. But there's a little part of me that goes, can you blame her? You got this guy, Akash, this tiny little Indian dude. He can't possibly be hitting it right. And, he'll buy you it. Akash is so pitiful. He's like, I'll buy you anything just like me. And he tries to kiss her and hold her, and she's just like, get away from me. Why wouldn't she act like this? She's just going to allow to be. He's not going to do anything about it. He's just going to cuck himself or something. Or was this an arranged marriage? Are they first cousins? I don't know how it works over there. Is that the Muslims I'm thinking of? The Indians probably do it too. They all look alike to me. I'm allowed to say this, by the way, people. I am black, okay? So leave me alone. But ultimately, this is just extremely, extremely embarrassing for Akash. And he can hide out on his little Dubai vacation all he wants. But he's going to have to come back eventually. And he better, nip this in the bud now if he plans on doing any more crowd work going forward. Or if he wants his podcast to survive. Because if he thinks he's going to sit there and they're not going to talk about this on the podcast when they already are talking about it, but editing it, but their excuse is he's not there yet and they're waiting for him to get back. If he thinks that's just going to happen and his career is going to be fine going forward, he's got another thing coming. But I just couldn't believe this video when she was just like, I don't like public displays of affection But, publicly I can hold the phone up in bags and I record everything I do. It's all bullshit. She's just bullshitting. She just doesn't like him that much. And she just hooked up with him for the lifestyle, which is fine. I mean, that's her prerogative, but if she thinks we're not going to pick up on it, we know human behavior. It has nothing to do with public displays of affection. You not into that guy. You just found a guy who made some money, successful. You thought, hey, maybe I can launch my own career off of his career, and I can buy whatever, and he'll let me do whatever. And he so would, by the way. If she just came out and said, hey, Akash, I cheated on you, he'd be like, look, baby, we can work this out. We can make it through this. And then he'd go to therapy and be like, somehow this is my fault. he's so that type of guy. He'd go on his podcast apologizing and saying, obviously I did something to make her want to cheat. It's really all my fault. And yeah, she fucked my best friend. But so pathetic and sad, man. It's like these dudes, like, you gotta be very suspicious if you're like a comedian and you're famous or in show business and your partner isn't, but they're trying to get into it. You need to be very, very suspicious of stuff like that. I mean, like, you gotta be very suspicious. It's like Linda Hogan. Hulk Hogan should have known that, especially since, she kept the name Hogan, and that's not even Hulk Hogan's real name. And so, like, if they ever got divorced, she'd probably keep Akash's last name, still try and make it as an influencer and everything. It's just truly sad watching this poor guy Akash have to go through this. But like I said, a lot of it's his fault. You got to keep your pimp hand strong, Akash. I mean, I'm pretty sure in your culture you're allowed to do whatever you want to this woman if she gets out of line. So, and you're over in Dubai, you can really get away with it over there, I think. You need to get her in line because she's going to start messing up the bag. I don't know, but if he's really only been with one chick and, like, is he just like an incel who just, like, wifed up the first chick who banged him? That's sad. That's truly sad. I don't know. Maybe it's that whole he has to appease his parents thing, so he just wifed her up quick. The whole thing's just odd and bizarre. Maybe he's very religious though. I mean, I'm sure they had the big dumb Indian wedding with the 50 elephants and whatever, and maybe it's a religious or cultural thing. I don't know. I just found it interesting that she just straight up trashed him and said, yeah, I don't want him touching me. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.